Welcome to My Life in a Biscuit Tin. I'm Liz Moseley, slightly croaky, recovering from some kind of horrible bug, but I am here, and I'm here with the very beautiful and brilliant fellow Yorkshire woman, who is Amanda Owen. Hi, Amanda.
Hi.
Thank you so much for being here, making the trip.
Thank you for inviting me.
It's an absolute pleasure. We're here to talk about your new book.
Yes.
Christmassy book. Children's book.
Yes, I mean...
First one.
Qualified, aren't I?
You are qualified.
I work with all the things that you're not supposed to work with, children and animals.
All the
so
time.
There you go. And, you know, the Christmas element on the farm is what people, I think, dream of, with the snow and everything. You know.
I think we've watched your life, you in the context of those amazing scenery and the weather and the realness of it all, and it's escapism, but with you and your 9 children, what were you thinking in there? It's very real, and I think that's a bit of a potent combination. It's why people become very emotionally involved with your life and your story.
I think you're right. I think it is very relatable.
Yeah,
very relatable. It's the ups and downs, and as you say, all set in the beautiful backdrop that is Yorkshire. That obviously you're very familiar with.
I am. I grew up in Wharfdale, so a bit slightly further down, but equally beautiful. I didn't know until I went away to university and started visiting my friends that I'd made at university, their homes in the holidays. I didn't know that not everybody grew up in incredible rolling hills and beautiful skies and all of that. It was such a shock.
Well, you see, the thing is, I've seen a different life because I'm actually from West Yorkshire, from
Huddersfield.
From Huddersfield.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm almost blessed in that I have that appreciation for even on the worstest day. I have sort of seen different places. So obviously seen it through all the seasons, and believe me, not every day is skipping about in the meadows, is it? You know, you've got your mud, you've got your greyness and all the rest of it. But I feel like the appreciation is all the more when you've stepped away from it. And I believe that's the same for the children, because of course this is all they've ever known. But one of the things that people will say to me is, you know, do you think the children will stay? And I think to myself, well, I really do hope not. They have to venture off the hill and go and have their own adventures. And it would appear that at this very moment in time, they don't seem to want to go away. I haven't got the empty nest yet. My nest is overflowing.
Very full.
Exactly. So I feel like it's a good foundation. I mean, grassroots level, whatever you want to call it. I feel like life on a farm and in the countryside certainly sets you up for a life anywhere.
Everyone's home is different, and wouldn't life be boring if they weren't? But whatever your thing is, when it comes to furniture, DFS is here to help you find it, celebrate it, and bring it to life in every room. For me, it's my great big bed, but for you, it could be a bright and beautiful sofa, a snuggly boucle armchair, or a statement storage ottoman. Find your thing in stores or at dfs.co.uk today. But you didn't grow up on a farm.
No.
How did you find your way into that world?
It was books.
Right.
And I'm not just saying that because I'm sitting here with a book. It was that point in your life when you're being asked big questions like, what would you like to do with the rest of your life, career-wise? And for some people, they always know. For me, I just did not know. Obviously, I knew that I was going to have to, in a way, try and find my way and try and find that thing. And I picked up a book at the London Library in Huddersfield. It was called Hill Shepherd, and it was a photographic book, and it just showed the lives of shepherds in the Dales and in the Lake District. And for me, it could have been foreign lands, because I couldn't believe that this was well, less than 100 miles away as the crow flies. And I thought, this is incredible. This is unbelievable. How do I take myself to this place?
It does look sometimes otherworldly. We're sitting here right in the heart of London on Leicester Square. We couldn't be more alien in a way from your home and your world. Do you quite like coming out to the big smoke for a little dip in and out?
I love it.
Do you?
Don't you think it's rather polarising? People are like, you're either country or town.
Yeah.
There's plenty of room for both of those things.
Yeah.
And I feel like as the world has certainly got smaller, even just in my time at Ravenseat, I feel like we're not as isolated as we once were.
Interesting.
Because I mean, physically, obviously, nothing has changed, but actually, the world has changed because we have connectivity now. People say, "Oh, they watch the program and think about in nostalgic terms of how childhood used to be. The Enid Blyton kind of a picture, and it's like, well, it's great, no screens, children out getting dirty and sort of taking risks, climbing things and swimming and riding, etc. And yeah, I value those things and that we are able to do that hugely, but I also value the fact that none of the other aspects of life we would have been able to achieve without the connectivity, without the internet.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there is that element as well, and it's a funny one, but it is just as important as the countryside and what the children are getting. It's a dose of reality. We do reality television.
Yeah.
And of course, if you think about it, reality began with Hannah Hawkswell, another Yorkshire woman.
Yeah.
She was like showcasing life on her farm all those years ago. So I'm just following in her footsteps.
Absolutely. Right, we're going to get into your biscuit tin now. Not literally into your biscuit tin, Amanda, but
do you know what would be in my biscuit tin?
What?
One biscuit.
Which would be?
Oh, I'm going to say it's like an oat cake because that's the one the kids would leave. Any with chocolate on, they'd go.
Yes.
Now, obviously, it's very competitive at our house.
Yes.
Right? But they have a thing whereby they won't eat all the biscuits.
Okay.
There's always one
left.
Token biscuit.
A
and
sad
it's usually
one
a
at the
sad
end.
One.
Yeah.
So it'll be the oat cakey one, the Hovisy kind of
It
one.
is a mystery, isn't it? I was thinking about this the other day. When you go to the cinema and you do pick and mix, you only choose the ones you like, and yet somehow at the end there's always one that you don't want. How does it get in there? The sort of aniseed ball or a humbug or something you don't want.
Oh, a humbug, yeah. Awful. That's making me feel like a bit like a glacier mint. Is that
rubbish?
Yeah, there's something about a glacier mint. If you see, I don't even know if it still exists, but it's that picture of a polar bear. It just makes me feel a bit kind of gippy.
Okay, so you've dug around at home to pick out precious things that you would never ever get rid of ever, no matter how much you were decluttering. And I'm intrigued by what I can see over there on the table. I hope none of it's alive. It looks like it could crawl off.
That sums me up. Definitely, there could be some wildlife there. Where do you want to start?
You choose. Where are we going first?
Well, I'm going to start with. We'll start with this one.
Okay.
Okay, because this is the everyday. Now this is a sheepdog whistle.
It's an orange cord for the people who are listening. Looks like you wear it round your neck.
Yes, it's a lanyard.
Blue.
Now that comes with sheep medicine. You get one in the bottom of the box.
Okay, right, got it.
And I keep swapping it because it gets very grubby and dirty. So that is a new one. It's been basically made so that it's civilised to bring down here.
Okay,
I thought if I brought
presentable.
Yeah, exactly. I thought if I brought a grotty one, it would look too bad. But basically, that joggles away, and that basically stops my dog.
Oh, I see.
I could
give us a blast. What does it sound like?
Are you ready?
Yeah. And you're doing the shapes to give an instruction.
Yeah, left, right, or a hard blow just to literally stop the dog.
Brilliant.
Try to use it to summon children. Doesn't work anymore. Okay. Could also, I suppose, be used to hail a taxi. Maybe even wolf whistle a scaffolder.
Could be.
Who knows?
One of the guys doing the building work in our office at the moment.
Switch it around.
Yeah.
There you go. So this is something that I have at all times, and I can use it actually. I can actually use it for fake purposes. See, what I tend to do is when we're feeding the sheep, just on an average day in the autumn, I will whistle the sheep and take the dog with me. But with whistling for the sheep, if it snows and a storm comes, I can actually whistle the sheep without the dog and they will still come.
Oh.
Because in other words, in a way, it's rather training them. The whistle means that they're going to be foddered, they're going to get some hay. Okay, so that is a very important piece of equipment. Yeah, I do have 2 or 3 spare ones, but because of the nature of how they're made, you can make them out of teaspoons. Actually, you can hammer a teaspoon if you're really bored and drill a hole through it. But I've got one made of horn and I've got one made of bone, and usually they've got like straw inside, so they do get a bit disgusting. And it takes a certain amount of practice to be able to blow one.
So that's a precious one in particular, or it's just that it's the useful one and you haven't lost it yet?
Yes, that's exactly it. That is exactly it. I'm always joyous when I find other ones. The children have them, and some of them can use them better than others, and some are clearer than others.
I guess there must be a kind of farming supply shop that you go on, like Amazon for farmers, where you buy your sheep whistles and all your other kit and clobber.
There are brilliant places where farm shops are. Your agricultural supplies are absolutely great for your practical clothing.
I bet there's amazing clobber.
Absolutely, all waterproof, non-breathable.
Yeah,
all the
amazing.
Stuff usually comes in one shade of snot green. Yes, but there you go. Yeah, it is the place. So I always think there are two places in our local market town, and one place is the spa shop, and the other place is the agricultural suppliers. So, that's where everything is learned, everything is found out.
Amazing.
So so that is the dog whistle. So very practical. I have got a few sentimental ones as well.
Go on then, do a sentimental one. Let's see what else is going into this tin.
Okay, right. We have. I'm going to do that. Well, that's actually two. And the reason I've brought two, and you're probably thinking, what on earth is that?
Yeah, it's hair, Amanda.
It does look like it could belong to me.
Yes.
But no.
It's a long plait, black plait in bobbles. Mm-hmm. And then this one, I'm slightly trepidatious to touch it. Oh, you're smelling it now. Who did it belong to?
That belonged to Little Joe the horse.
Oh.
And that belonged to Meg.
And this is a little lock of hair, also a horse. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm relieved to find it's horsehair.
They always say that the best horses go to heaven without a tail.
Oh.
Because you snip off a lock to keep. So they live in my underwear drawer for some random reason.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Keep them close.
Well, yeah, I suppose. And I can still smell a little bit of horse on them because there's something innately comforting about the smell.
And are you one of these people that feels you allow yourself to get emotionally involved with the animals?
Certainly. Everyone thinks because you're a farmer, it's like, oh, you can't possibly like animals. Well, what sort of farmer would you trust if they didn't like animals?
Yeah.
That's not where you want to be.
And tell us about these horses then. Why were they special?
Well, at Ravenseat, there is kind of like a door policy. And when it comes to horses, it doesn't matter actually what you look like. It doesn't matter, you can certainly be imperfect bodily. And in a way, well, not highly trained. We don't do a discipline. We're not into dressage or cross-country or anything like that. We're into horses' mode of transport. In other words, get on, go, stop, preferably. Sometimes go fast. That will do. It's all about kindness.
Right.
And you can see that in a horse's eye. They are tolerant. They just... what can I say? They're a member of the family, and they stay. So these two, Joe was 40 years old when he died.
Oh, wow.
Wrote his story in the book about his death.
In this book?
In this new book. Yes, wrote about it, cried over it.
Oh.
Because he was just... I mean, he was a little so-and-so. He taught the children so much. He was just a character. So, and you don't forget them.
Yeah.
You don't forget them. And obviously, life on a farm, you get to see life, death, and a bit in between.
Of course.
But it doesn't mean that you don't have an affection. It's not just horses, but I mean, my other object here is a piece of wool. It's actually got a piece of hay stuck in it.
Show it's authentic.
It is authentic, definitely. Literally, I grabbed it as I was coming out.
Sheep's wool.
Sheep's wool. That's off one of the Dutch spotted sheep. It isn't particularly about the sheep. It isn't even particularly about the wool.
Okay.
This is my get out of jail card free.
Go on.
If you're a shepherd, you get free access to heaven. As
long
as
I've
got this, yeah.
Well, that's a good deal.
Isn't
They
it?
should put that out more.
If you're a shepherd, but in order to prove it, you have to have the piece of wool in your pocket. If you're buried, you're supposed to have it with you. You have to have it with you. That gets you through St. Peter's Gate.
Are you a person of faith?
No, but I'll take that.
give it a shot.
Give it a shot. It's worth it, isn't it?
So this is, and actually it's interesting because the texture of the brown wool is quite different from the texture of the white wool. But this is all from one sheep.
This is all from one sheep. It's a Dutch spotted one.
Okay.
I think that there's Coco and Chanel, so it's one of those two. I know,
I
very
see
classy.
I see what you've done there.
Yeah, Coco and Chanel. So yes, they're Dutch spotted sheep, and I mean you can feel the lanolin in there as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I might get lots of bruises from clipping. There's a lump out of my hand there because we had a few strays come in last week who were sort of late for their salon appointment. but just getting the wool off, it does, although you take lumps out of your hand, the softness of the lanolin is good for your skin.
So you clip your sheep. Where does the wool go when you've clipped it? What happens to it?
Well, it goes down to Bradford to be sorted up and hopefully made into things, although there isn't much trade in wool anymore. Although we all say we want green and we want sort of less man-made fibres and it's better for the environment. Wool things usually end up in the bottom of the washing basket, don't they? Because they're not just
harder to care for.
Yeah, you have to look after them.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've got wool things that I absolutely love and adore, and I mean, woolly things are coming back certainly into fashion.
Yeah.
But real wool takes a little bit more care, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It lasts forever if you look after it. But
there's a brilliant sock company in Bradford. I think it might even be called the Bradford Sock Company that makes socks out of real wool.
Yes.
Bought my brother is a Bradford City fan for his sins.
Yeah.
I bought him a pair of Bradford City socks from the Bradford Sock Company for Christmas.
Yeah.
So there are sort of those small artisan companies that are doing interesting things with lovely products like this.
It is good. I mean, this was so valuable. Yeah.
Oh,
this was at one time so valuable that the wool clip would pay your rent on tenanted farms for a whole year. People, one of Clive's first jobs he remembers when he was working on a farm was to actually sent out to shear a sheep that had expired. Such was the value of the wool. The children used to go and pick up the loose locks of wool, and of course they would knit and make stockings. So yes, it was a valued product, but I would have that just as a safety mechanism, just to make sure if got run over by a bus or anything,
make sure
it gets me places.
Absolutely right.
Okay.
Do you you've been doing this a long time, and we the public have been watching you do it a long time.
Yeah.
Raising your kids and running the farm and
dragging them up. Raven says she puts down her independence and her ability to be able to cook on a mass scale with the remnants of what's in the fridge, totally and utterly down to her childhood. Years of neglect has got her to this place. Exactly.
Do you like? I mean, obviously, massive family. Do you like doing all that kind of? Do you like to do the cooking and are you domestic? Yeah.
Well, look, I'm not Nigella. I'm not Nigella.
Nobody's Nigella.
No.
I'm not sure Nigella's Nigella, really.
No. But I do love that element. I'm a feeder.
Right.
I'm a person who is like, open house, come in. Do you want your dinner? Do you want your tea? Come on. I am Mrs. Doyle. I am the Yorkshire Mrs. Doyle. Come on, you'll have a cup of tea.
Oh,
You will. You will. I have two kettles that are permanently on the boil on the aga. So it's like one there, and you shift them over, shift them over. More tea, vicar, all that. And I revel in that. There is a certain amount of pride in being able to do that. It's that element of, I know I make a rod for my own back, but I want to be out there. I never wanted to be sort of the shepherd who sort of just kind of looked wistfully from the hill end and then scuttled off and didn't do the dirty bits. So I like to be able to shear. I like to be able to hold my own. I like to be able, I mean, Ruben stresses about it, but I like to be able to jump on like the skid steer or jump on a tractor or just to be able to say that I can.
So Ruben's your eldest.
Yes, he's actually rung me up this morning to say he's digging a hole and he's found a cannonball and he wanted to know whether it was classed as treasure, and I say no.
It's a cannonball? Mm-hmm. Right.
It's a 16th century cannonball.
Wow.
So there you go.
Okay, well that's, I mean, good find.
Good find, absolutely.
And Ruben, he said he worries about you.
I don't know that he worries about me. He worries where he's got me. He worries about what I might be pinching of his.
Oh, really?
Bit of a free-for-all, yes. The other day I managed to start one of his tractors by using the dipstick to start the ignition because I couldn't find the key. So I was pleased with myself.
Yeah, that's good ingenuity.
I think being on a farm teaches you ingenuity. I always remember Raven ringing up to say that she was in York. She was at university at that point, and she'd actually managed to start her next door neighbour's car by using a spanner between the terminals, which is probably something that you're not supposed to do.
Yeah, don't try this at home.
Do not try this at home, guys.
Housekeeping doesn't endorse this approach.
No, Good Housekeeping says this is definitely a skill that you should not have.
No.
But Raven used it, and it's that kind of practicality. It's turn your hand to anything.
Yeah.
And that's how I want the girls and boys to be.
Yeah.
I will literally chuck things at them and say to the boys, you need to cook, you need to make this, you need to do this, you need to do this. And I'll say to the girls, you need to be on that digger, you need to do that.
Yeah.
There's no kind of thing as what hat are you wearing. You need to be able to be across it all.
Let's have a biscuit. We've gone for the chocolate digestives. We did, I think you said that or a tonics. I do like a tonics, but we were unable to source tonics at short notice. I apologise. I know.
Okay.
Shocking, isn't it?
Thank you.
And these are a Marks and Spencer's digestive.
I can see it's got an M&S. Yeah, high quality.
Milk chocolate. Mm-hmm. I think quite nice.
Definitely very nice. Definitely.
I think there's a bit more chocolate on there than you would get on the branded alternative. Do you agree? Slightly more.
Yep. I think. I don't think they'd last very long in our house.
No, they'd be the good ones.
You soon get to gauge what's good and what's not.
Yeah.
I go in the dairy. There's a nice big dairy with lots of stone shelves, and I have to hide things like M&S chocolate biscuits. And I've got a great big casserole dish that's made of cast iron. That literally you can hardly lift, it only just fits in the oven. It's called a goose pot because apparently you would cook a goose.
Put a whole goose in it.
Yeah, but at the moment that's the place where I hide the good stuff. So because they don't lift the lid on it, I've only got a certain amount of time. In fact, if they ever listen to the Good Housekeeping podcast, they now know.
Yeah.
Where the good
they better
biscuits
not
are.
Listen. We'll edit that bit out, Charlie.
Yeah, exactly. Get rid of it.
Secret.
Get rid of it.
Grown-up treats only in there.
Yeah.
So there is a danger that you've created such a happy home for your giant family that they will never leave. Or if they do leave, they'll keep coming back. Do you worry about that?
I love it. This is the best stage of parenthood. I was warned of this because I always remember a lady coming to the door and saying, "You'll pay the price one of these days."
That was nice of her.
Yeah, exactly. You'll pay the price when the teenagers. Your life will be hell.
Oh.
Yeah. Sorry. I think this is the best stage. I was never very mumsy, which sounds silly when you've got 9 children. Yeah. I never really was. I would have them in the car seat and I would actually put them down somewhere. I forget where I'd put them, things like that. I mean, it was always in a field. Yeah. It wasn't like I was in the...
left them in the tube or something.
No, exactly. But now they're really getting their characters coming through. And I feel like if I was looking at it in a selfish way, they keep me feeling relevant. They keep me sort of with it.
That's super interesting.
Yes. Well, I mean, I say with it, but obviously they shudder every time I say things like, "Have I got negative aura?" or
they cringe so much,
skibbity riz.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Don't ever say that. Ever
it's
again."
Quite interesting because you've got so many that your children almost span generations because Ruben is more, I guess, Gen Z, and then you've got Gen Alpha too with the little ones.
I don't know what those gens are. But...
it's kind of, there's a skibbity end and then there's a slightly different end at the top. But I agree with you, they become more interesting as they get older, don't they, your kids?
God,
much more fun to be around.
Definitely. And I mean, as time has gone on and with everything that we've done and the world changing, sort of when Raven was a baby, was sort of, 2001. For us, it was kind of pre-internet. It was pre...
Yeah,
and you could say, oh, that's very much living the dream. But now, with the world as it is and everything becoming online, you just have different things, different issues to deal with. So Nancy's life it is incredibly different to how Raven's was.
Yeah.
But she's more worldly aware anyway. The other day she was like, do you know that Miles has got a love bite?
Heavens.
There you go.
On.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go.
Poor Miles.
Poor Miles.
Dying a death in the corner.
Yeah. But I like that.
Yeah.
I really like the fact that there is this really open conversation. I know you can't and shouldn't say that you're your children's friend because you're the parent.
You have to set the standards and
You
all the
do.
rest of it.
Well, low standard. Ish. But I do believe there's quite a good middle ground.
Yeah.
Quite a good middle ground. And I mean, if there's one thing, doing what we do with being in the media and all the rest of it, it's a great conversation starter.
Yeah.
Do you know what they've written about your mum? No, what now? You've ridden a horse in a bikini. Yes, I did. And I put it up online and I am proud. And yes, I'm definitely not bothered that somebody said that I looked like a cadaver. One day you'll win Scrabble with that word.
Yes.
Kids.
Yes, exactly.
So, but you know what I mean?
Have
It's
you
just-
had to become tougher? Because people, being a woman in the public eye, they're going to be mean because that's just what the world is. So you've had to toughen up.
Resilience.
Right.
I have come to accept. I had a couple of funny years where I was like, oh, don't know how to cope with this, don't know what to do. And it was like, choices. I have choices here. I either give in and try and be everything to everybody and keep everybody happy. It's not happening.
No.
Why be a martyr? What does that teach anyone?
Yeah.
Or I say, hang on a minute, I'm going to have a reset, look at what's important and go with that.
Have your kids ever said, well, hang on a minute, Mum, I don't want to be on the telly?
No, they haven't, but they've never been forced to be on the telly.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They're either in it because they want to be and they're at that point, or they're not.
Or if they don't fancy it today, then they just stay upstairs and that's fine, kind of thing.
Well, don't stay upstairs. You've got to hen hut.
Yeah, true.
Or anywhere.
Yeah.
Upstairs is a bad place to be. Seriously, there has never been any expectation of them to perform because it's not that. And interestingly, Nancy is going through a stage where she is becoming quite, I don't know, she's going through a thoughtful stage.
Right.
So she, at the
What age
moment...
is Nancy? She's little still, isn't she? 8, 9, something like
No,
that?
see, that's pressure. We've just discussed this. 9.
Okay. Yeah.
Did you see that? Tori was like...
Nice work, Tori.
Yeah, nice work, Tori. 9. Honestly, she's going through a very thoughtful stage, so she's very chatty. And Clemmy is naturally quite chatty, and then she'll go through a quieter stage. The dynamics are always changing. Violet went through a sort of... a different sort of a stage where she was more insular, but now she's back out there. You know, that it's naturally how they are.
Yeah.
And when you're doing reality, the clue is in the name.
Yeah.
Reality. And you know what? People say they want reality, and then sometimes they realise they don't want reality. So again, what do you do?
Yeah.
This is our reality, and that's what we put across. And the reality is that sometimes the children are there and sometimes they're not, and sometimes things go right and sometimes things go wrong,
Yeah.
etc. And you get to see it all.
Do you ever feel that it's brave what you're doing?
Brave. I've never thought of it as being that. I mean, because people do come out with some really ridiculously daft questions like, what do your children think of the television programme, or have they read the book? No, of course they haven't.
Couldn't be
They
less
actually
interested.
launched it and threw it or something the other day. And then they said, we'll send you some pictures. And they had the book upside down and they were wet. I was just like, yeah. I said, look, I don't care that you haven't read it. You're a part of it and we've talked about it and you've actually had a massive amount of input. But I will tell you this, if you get any questions on the quiz wrong, you're going to be put up for adoption. So you know, it's I don't see it as brave. I do not see any aspect to it being brave. I see it as a way of showcasing to the children that you have to get on in life and do things.
Yeah.
And that you sometimes have to think out of the box. It's no good saying this is how you should live, this is what you should do, but I'm not doing it. I'd rather them say, well, you know what, right or wrong, she achieved things.
This episode of My Life in a Biscuit Tin is brought to you by DFS. Everyone has a thing, and whatever you're looking for in your home, DFS can help you find yours. My thing this week is pumpkins. I didn't know I was going to become a Halloween mom until I became one. Our box of Halloween decorations is actually bigger than our box of Christmas decorations. I think it all started when my mum made me carve a turnip into a Halloween lantern at our dining room table. Imagine my incredulity when I got to my mid-20s and I found out that pumpkins, if you can find one, is already hollow. I will be back at my own dining room table without my teenage children carving my own pumpkin lantern again this year. If your thing this week is finding an amazing new piece for your home, DFS can help. From sofas and bed frames to sideboards and dining sets. Discover the new season collection now in store or at dfs.co.uk.
Let's have a look at that book. I'm intrigued what that little book is there. Yeah.
This does fit in my biscuit tin because I have a big biscuit tin.
Okay, good. Well, you need one for
I
all
did
them
wonder
kids.
if there was a size kind of for a biscuit tin.
Yeah.
And then I thought, probably not this.
So an old-looking sort of brownish...
It's a vellum-bound book.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, so what does it say? Collected poems of... I can't read that. I've not got my glasses on. William... H. Davies. Yeah? Okay, tell me.
You should know by what's written in the front.
Oh, look. Christmas 1921.
What is this life if full of care? We have no time to stand and stare. That is William H. Davies' handwriting.
Beautiful.
And that is a copy of his poems, and he has given that to his publisher.
Wow.
And that poem apparently was voted the nation's favourite.
Yeah.
Okay. Now
Am I all right holding it?
Absolutely.
It's a very precious thing.
It is. So this book was sent to me, somebody who had watched the television programmes. It was actually during COVID times.
Right.
When there was a lot of bad stuff going on and people were feeling very isolated. And it came in just a very nondescript brown envelope. And it was like, I read that this is your favourite poem. I wondered if you wanted this.
How lovely. What a lovely thing to do.
What a lovely thing to do. And the happiness that gave me, I just couldn't believe that somebody would actually do something that thoughtful and kind. And the poem for me is just so relevant.
Yeah.
You know, what is this life? If full of care, we have no time to stand and stare.
No time to stand beneath the boughs and stare as long as sheep or cows.
No time to see when woods we pass, where squirrel hides their nuts in grass. It's this one, actually. I feel like this sentence here.
No time to turn at beauty's glance and watch her feet, how they can dance.
And then, no time to wait till her mouth can enrich the smile her eyes began. Think about that. If there was ever a sentence that you wish you had wrote, I think it would
You'd be happy with that one, wouldn't you?
I mean, that is incredible. And the fact that this is in his hand.
A handsome chap. I presume that's him.
Yeah, there was a bit of a story with him. And I mean, I'm not one of those people. I've got shelves and shelves and shelves full of books. You know, I've got the ones that I've never read but make you look intelligent. You know, the ones.
Keep those for
Yeah,
your Zoom background.
exactly. But the well-thumbed copies of that's a letter. I think we'd probably keep that quiet because we don't know.
Yeah, we don't want to read that out.
No.
Yeah.
But seriously, it's just I would run back into a burning house to get that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, does it have any value? I don't know, but it's not about that because there is a drawer and it sits in the drawer. Because I think with a book, no matter how precious it is there for a purpose and to be read. So yes, I'd be cross if one of the children spilled hot chocolate on it.
Yes.
But I'd get over it.
Yeah.
Because they were looking at it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a really, really lovely thing. You can sort of feel time and the fact that it was sent to you. I mean, I guess we were just touching on it, weren't we, that if you are a woman in the public eye, being yourself, living your life, doing your thing, people are going to be mean to you. So when someone is nice,
it sort of
nice.
makes sense of it all, you
Yeah.
know, it evens it all out a bit, which is lovely.
The majority of people are decent,
Yeah.
lovely,
Yes.
Lovely people. But I guess it's just, you know, as a human, you always focus on the one person who says something unpleasant or unkind. And I say to the children, you know, that is life. I mean, you know, one of the things that was always said to me was, if you haven't got anything good to say, don't say anything. And I literally have never particularly had the time to pass on any sort of unpleasantries to anybody. If you don't like somebody, switch it off, turn over.
Yeah.
You know, swipe.
Yeah.
Whatever.
There's plenty of other content to consume.
Absolutely.
That's lovely.
So that's the positive there. Okay, so now we're going to go for this.
Little picture.
It's a little picture. Now, you know, this is not Antiques Roadshow material. I am not going to be taking it to be valued because, as you can feel, I think it's made of plastic.
It's a little round image of, I'm going to say, a little shepherdess there in a little golden frame. Mm-hmm. It says on the back of it, The Shepherdess by Johann Baptist Hoffner. Okay?
Yeah.
From the miniature world of Peter Bates, made in England.
Yeah. So just a little cheap thing. Don't know.
She's cute though, isn't she?
She is cute, but it's not even that. It's the circumstances. Every year we go to Appleby Horse Fair.
Yes.
And we always love going to Appleby Horse Fair, and we catch up with people who we only ever see once a year.
Yeah.
The children absolutely love it. I as per usual, I lost the children this year at Appleby Horse Fair. One of them did a deal on a dachshund, and I was like, no, we're not having a dachshund. They were last seen on the back of a horse and in a sulky with a boy with a mullet haircut.
Okay.
But just great. It's a great place to observe people and life. It's wonderful. Anyway, some of the folk I just catch up with once a year. I don't know the names. I don't know who they are, but every year we see each other, meet up, talk about the year, talk about the harvest, the crop, and sort of generalisations of what's going on in the countryside, and then go our separate ways, and it's see you next year. And every year that goes by, there are less and less of them.
Oh.
And you don't know what happened, but you assume the worst, that probably they've died as time has passed on. Anyway, down the flashing lane where the horses are shown off, going at full pelt, there was a chap who, again, I see every year, who literally, I could see him coming down the lines through all the people. And he came, he said, oh, it's lovely to see you again. I've got you this. And he sort of like ratcheted about in his pockets a little bit, and he got that out, and he said, that will be lucky. And I said, thank you so much.
Aww.
So I don't know who he was.
Where does it live in your house?
There's a mantelpiece. Now, you see, I'm not very good with ornaments.
Okay.
Because there's too much dust.
Yes.
Apparently, I know this is good housekeeping, but I have been told that 8 years, optimum dust. After 8 years, it doesn't accumulate anymore.
Oh, really? A sort of peak dust equivalence that we reach.
Yes.
We'll give it a try.
Well, I'm already doing that experiment.
Okay.
I'm doing that experiment for you. All I know is that whenever I do a photo shoot, like this last weekend, and they bring all the lights and things in, and they start angling things and moving furniture, I start getting the sweat. Because the places that I see and where I usually sit, I'll be like, oh, this is okay.
okay.
Change the angle and go to the other side of the beams. It's like, oh my goodness. Cobwebs and soot and felt tip markings and goodness knows what. I have got some stone shelves, and she sits on there.
When we get into the next season of Farm Next Door,
Yes.
we're doing the inside.
Yes.
We've been doing the outside, seasons 1 and season 2, and
Yes.
it's not going to fall down now, and it's got a roof and everything.
It's
watertight and brilliant.
Yes.
But next season, it's going to be the interior.
I am so stressed about this.
Oh, well, I'm excited about it. I'm psyched for the interior bit.
Yeah, but this is where the pressure really is on, because, I mean, let's be honest about it. Do you want a roof? Yes. Do you want a window?
Yes,
Do you want
I
a
do.
door? Floor? Yes. Now it's like, so where do you actually want things?
Yes.
And because I keep getting distracted, it's things like, have you actually bought a sink? No, but I have bought a hay sledge that I think would make some nice shelves if we stand it up. Okay. Have you actually bought anything at all practical? Not really.
There are a lot of decisions to be made when you're designing a kitchen or a bathroom or whatever, like tiny things. They say, do you like this, do you not like this?
Yeah.
Have you done anything like that before?
Never.
It's a huge thing.
I got a letter. I mean, alongside getting a lovely book like that in a brown envelope, I did get a letter that I always remember that was pretty much, do you know that your wallpaper is peeling off as it was 10 years ago when you started filming?
Oh, thanks for that.
Yeah, I do. And it still is. And it's fine. I looked at it, thought, shall I actually rip it off? You know, people come in and say, are you decorating? It's like, no, I really aren't decorating. It's a happy home. Homely.
Yes.
That's the word.
Yes.
It's not
a living house, not a show home.
It's not dirty, it's practical. It's geared up for what it is.
Yeah.
And you see, that's the thing that I'm mindful of with the Auntie John's renovation project. It has to be a place that you are comfortable. I like focal points. I like to have a fireplace. I like to have an oven. I like to have a place where you can sit with your head in your hands whilst you're having a cup of tea and wonder where you went wrong.
Yeah. A comfy chair for the despair. The despair chair.
Yeah, so I've even got like what we would call a lambing chair, which to the untrained eye looks rather like a commode. Apart from it's not, because there isn't a hole underneath the cushion. There actually is a little box where you put the lamb.
Yes.
And it sits under there whilst it revives next to the oven.
Are you going to make all the decisions yourself on the interior? You got someone helping you?
God, no. I've got a whole WhatsApp group.
Okay, great.
Where I ask people things because I'm like, you know what? I kind of like easy life as much as possible. So I will say to the plumber, what would you do? And then he gives me the options. I'll say, well, I don't like that idea. And I don't. And as we've gone on, I have somehow weeded through people who maybe aren't of my mindset. And I've got to a place where people who maybe understand me, understand me as much as they possibly can do.
Yeah.
You know, because there are certain things it's like, well, you know, nowadays you can have all kinds of options. You can even have a Wi-Fi operated washing machine. Why? Why would I want that? Is that actually going to sort through the colours? Is that going to get all the screws and nails and bits of string and pound coins out of Ruben's pockets? Of course it's not.
Absolutely not.
No, that does not help me. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
What I want to be is belt and braces. I want to know that when the electricity switches off, when there's no water, I want to know how you live when basically the apocalypse is here.
Yes, which it does every so often in the winter time up on Swaledale.
Exactly. So it's like this. It's always like, what's the other option? What's not going to work? And I have got people now who will say, this is what we're going to do. And I say, great. Because it's... In a way, that's part of the story. That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
The diaries that I look at that tell me how that house was being renovated 200 years ago, that resonates with me. Anthony Clarkson, who it's named after, was there. He's making his bedstead. He's mending his roof. Not very well, because a couple hundred years later, I had to do it again.
Yeah.
But his missus, Mally, she's outside with a barrow laying the cobbles. So there you go.
Yeah.
She's not mentioned much, to be fair.
No, well.
And to be quite honest with you, in the diary that I'm reading, it makes me smile because he keeps putting things like, wrote for a little while in bedstead, wrote for a little while at trough. And I imagine Mally looking out of the window going, oh.
Do you want to give me a hand with the cobbles, though? While
Yeah,
you're doing your
exactly.
writing?
Yeah. And of course, the other thing is, Mally was illiterate.
So she didn't have the pleasure of writing
so
for a little while.
even hints at his girlfriend in there. And I mean, she could have picked the diary up and she could have been looking it upside down. She wouldn't have been able to read it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I always think to myself, it's a great leveller. It's kind of like a diary of the common man and his life and what was going on. And I take so much from that.
Yeah.
I love it that I have that insight. So everything that is going into the house now regarding the interiors, it's not just about what it is, it's the backstory and how it came to be there. So there's the walls. I mean, there's nothing straight in there. Literally, the wall is like at such an angle. There is no way that you would get a piece of furniture that could fit in there. So it's like, what are we going
to make that work? It's going to be amazing. I can't wait to see it. Show me that little. I can't even tell what it is. Is it a twig? Our last little thing. What is it?
It's a pen
it's a penknife.
Yeah.
Okay. What's it made of?
I think it's horn or bone.
Horn, yeah.
I don't know. I think this one's actually gone rusty because I need to get a pair of pliers on it. But we are lost without a penknife. It's one of those things that you've got various other ways that you can cut a piece of string, but if you haven't got a penknife, I've had to use a penknife on so many occasions, whether it's to loosen a horn, whether it's to do a pedicure, dare I say. I mean, once you've done a pedicure with one, you don't want to use it to eat a bit of cheese with.
No, ideally you'd keep them separate.
Exactly, but we're in reality here. So a penknife is an absolute must, and this is just a very old and worn one that actually belonged to my dad.
We've not talked about your mum and dad. Tell us about them.
Mum she was a model in the 60s, and she met my dad, who was an engineer, worked at Davies Brown's, and they had me and my sister. So my mum was very glamorous.
Were
my
they
dad was
both
very
Yorkshire
practical.
born and bred, your mum and dad? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So my dad was an engineer, and he died when I was in my teens.
Right.
And I always feel like that was probably quite a pivotal moment, because it was that sense of someone has gone. That sounds so stupid. But until that point, it was there was no idea of the finality of death.
Yeah, yeah.
It was kind of, it was certainly eye-opening and set me thinking about all the things I hadn't asked, all the things I hadn't done, and without sort of being too regretful about it, it does make you think about how much you can glean from the older generation and what's gone before, and how you must try your utmost to take that time.
So he didn't know you as a shepherdess?
No,
he didn't know you before you left?
No, he didn't. He didn't, because in a way his death was what was literally the sort of go forth.
Yes.
It was that, because he'd been ill for a little while, and obviously it was quite a difficult time for everybody. So when he died, it was like, right, okay, now it's time to go. And the first thing, of course, that I realised, Dad's certain value, was the fact that I managed to crash my car because I had bald tyres. And that's the kind of thing he would not have let happen. Yeah. I was like, oh, I wonder what these wires are sticking out. At that point, my car was actually upside down on a wall.
Bit late.
Yeah,
bit late to notice.
Exactly. So yeah, it.
How did your mum feel when you said, right, Mum, I know you were a glamorous model, but I'm going to be a shepherd?
Yeah, well, she did really want me to be a glamorous model, very much. But at that point, it wasn't for me, because of course you're going through the rebellious period, aren't you?
Yeah, of course.
And whatever your parents want for you.
What's the opposite of this?
Yeah, what can I do to really upset the apple cart? So I did sort of tiptoe into the world of modelling, thought I was going to get my first sort of like cover, on front of Cosmopolitan, ended up with cover of the Huddersfield Examiner, because the guy had
still good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but no, not because
not
of course the guy had he had got cameras where
right.
Yeah, so it was not good. So that was the end of that. So that finished that one. And it was like, okay, I'm going to be a goth. That'll upset things. Yeah. No, not really, because
there was a lot of gothing around. What sort of time are we now? Sort of late 80s, early 90s, something like that? Because I was
listening to the darkness, that kind of thing.
I was similar sort of age to you. All around Huddersfield and Halifax, there was a lot of that vibe going on.
Paratrooper boots.
Yeah, lots of tie-dye happening. And eyeliner, I recall.
Eyeliner, but I didn't go full hog. I didn't dye my hair. I also went for one glove. That was an interesting one.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
One glove.
Stripy tights.
Yeah, big petticoat.
Yeah.
And at one point wearing a travel blanket.
Okay, I didn't do
kind
that.
of like tied round my neck and tied round the back. And
yes.
Yes. There was a shop called Pink Cadillac in the Byram Arcade that sold literally sort of revamped things.
Yes.
That was all student made.
Everything smelt of sort of incense at that time, didn't it? There was a lot of that around as well.
Yes, it did. So kind of went through that stage, but then at some point you go, hang on, everyone else is doing this. This isn't actually very...
Not rebellious at all.
Not rebellious at all. And in a roundabout kind of way, saying, you know what, I actually want to be a shepherd, was kind of like the rebellion, although I didn't even mean to. I mean, it does sound very sort of Jane Eyre, Wuthering Heights, doesn't it?
It does a bit.
But it was like, this is what I'm going to do. And it was like, oh my God, it's just a phase she's going through. She's done the goth, now we're going for the shepherd. Yes.
Now, let's just pass me the new book. It's called Christmas Tales from the Farm.
It is.
And it's the first in a few of these. You're going to do a run of them, aren't you?
Don't stress me out.
Okay.
I've said I'm
No
going to do another
pressure.
6.
Oh, God.
Yeah, no, God. Yes.
And it's beautifully illustrated.
She did a great job, did
Yeah.
Becca, didn't she? It was, you know that thing where it's like, can you please do my makeup, but make it look like I've got no makeup?
Yes.
It's the same with illustrations.
It's really...
Can
it
you do
looks
simple
lovely.
illustrations that absolutely perfectly encompass what I'm talking about?
What is Christmas like in your house this year? What's it going to be? Do you cook a great big goose?
Yeah, well, I do a turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always industrial size. It never looks like the John Lewis advert. It never looks like anything out of the next catalogue. Nothing ever matches. If I've got enough forks, that'll do.
Yes.
People will sit on upturned washing up baskets.
Yes,
There'll probably
good.
be 2 tables. Somebody will take a swipe and spill everything.
Who comes round? Because obviously there's you 10 to begin with.
Everybody.
Everybody comes round.
Everybody comes round because they all know that we have Christmas dinner at tea time because we do all the jobs first.
Of course,
so
yeah.
everything's at a
The
different
animals
time.
don't know it's Christmas Day, so
No,
they carry on
don't.
needing to
Well,
be
the
fed.
horses do because, of course, they kneel down in the stable.
Of course,
so we do
naturally.
that. But usually I put the clock forward, so I don't really have to be putting it in. I've got other things to do. Usually, anybody who wants a second do at Christmas dinner.
Yeah.
And because everyone's like, oh, it's Christmas. Christmas, it's such a precious time. Such a precious time. We don't want to invade your personal space. It's like, please invade my personal space. Please, because actually this is really awkward and uncomfortable. Everyone's going like, oh, what do we do now?
Do you like it though? You must like it. It must be fun.
I love it because
Yeah.
it's always the unknown. I mean, last Christmas it was an escaped reindeer, and you'd say that is just too festive to be believable. Yes,
But
did
it was
happen.
real. It was real.
Absolutely was real. So yes, Christmas is very freeing to not follow the expectations of Christmas. To actually not buy the things that you're supposed to buy, to resist the temptation to buy a camembert when nobody likes it.
Yeah, yeah.
To be able to say, you know what, why do I do this every Christmas and then throw away the weird cheese that nobody eats?
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting. We've done some research at Good Housekeeping about this Christmas, and that trend of GH women now finally just having the Christmas that everybody wants to have.
Yeah.
If you want to have a cheese and pineapple hedgehog, absolutely do
Yes.
it. Have a baby sham. It's fine.
It doesn't
just have the
matter.
Christmas you want. Get wham on.
That's, that is the point. Every Christmas we have the same thing. Christmas dinner was great, but we really like the next day, which is always turkey, gravy and homemade chips.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah,
Absolutely
gravy.
brilliant.
Yeah, gravy. Tons and tons of
Tons of
gravy. And
gravy.
if you're being real about it, some cheese, and not fancy cheese that you bought for Christmas.
No,
Good old
just
mature
the
cheddar.
ordinary strong cheddar.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
exactly. And everybody loves that.
They do.
And it's those people coming round and all being perched together, and just for Reuben, the perfect Christmas is something breaks. You know, something breaks and you end up outside because we all sit there and go, this whole thing just goes on too long.
Yeah.
It's about what's going on in the family. Well, obviously, farmers aren't the only occupation that carry on going over Christmas, but I like the idea that it is pretty much business as usual. That's not a chore.
So what's your favourite bit of the book?
Well, I did like writing about the reindeer because it seemed too impossibly Christmassy to actually be real. And they often say the truth is stranger than fiction. So I enjoyed writing that one. That put a smile on my face. But really, actually, talking about more difficult aspects. Stupidly, I enjoyed the challenge of writing about little Joe, whose tale we have right here is demise.
Yeah.
Because it was the reality of it. The reality is you've lost one of the pets. You've lost one of the the animals, but then it quickly switches up to Reuben saying, right, okay, obviously you're going to need a hole digging. And Clive saying to me, well, you know what, we need to get him out of the stable quick before rigor mortis sets in.
Oof.
So, I know,
Yeah.
difficult subjects.
Difficult,
we still sidestep that, don't we?
Yeah, definitely.
And, you know, and as a farmer, I get asked that question a lot about how they deal with that. So with the book, writing a story like that, it is, I feel, quite valuable. It was important to me that whatever story I wrote was one that I would want to be able to read to the children, and I could take away and spark a conversation in any direction.
Yeah.
So yes, writing the story about little Joe and his story was cathartic.
Now, one last question. I'm just reading the back of your book here. Miles went to see the sheepdogs and shouted to the younger ones, Santa's been. Is everybody too old for Santa now in your house? Or will Santa still come?
Santa will still come. Look, they go along with it. Look, I'm going along with the wool getting me into heaven because it makes sense. So they're going along with
Why
Santa
would you
coming.
not? Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Sometimes it has to be a sort of, you know, you have to work it out for yourself on this one.
Absolutely. Well, Amanda, it has been such a joy talking to you. Thank you so much for bringing your brilliant things for your biscuit tin. And Christmas Tales from the Farm by the Yorkshire Shepherdess Amanda is out now. Have a lovely time and happy Christmas.
Thank you.
Maybe it's a sofa that gives you that heavenly sinking in feeling. Maybe it's an extendable dining table for everyone to crowd around and catch up. Or maybe it's a sideboard to hide all of that clutter that's been driving you crazy. Whatever your home has been missing, you can find it at DFS. With thousands of stylish pieces to discover, find your thing today in stores or at dfs.co.uk.